Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
That which is responsible for one's thoughts, feelings, and conscious brain functions, the seat of the faculty of reason. Mental ability. He's got plenty of brains but no common sense. Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality. That part of the central nervous system that includes all the higher nervous centers, enclosed within the skull, continuous with the spinal cord. Hit on the head. Kill by smashing someone's skull. The brain of certain animals used as meat. Computer science. A tiny electromagnetic coil and metal pole used to write and read magnetic patterns on a disk. Be in charge of. Who is heading this project? A person who is in charge. The head of the whole operation. That which is responsible for one's thoughts, feelings, and conscious brain functions, the seat of the faculty of reason. I couldn't get his words out of my head. Be the first or leading member of a group and excel. This student heads the class. The educator who has executive authority for a school. The upper part of the human body or the front part of the body in animals contains the face and brains. He stuck his head out the window. Travel in front of, go in advance of others. The procession was headed by John. The part in the front or nearest the viewer. He was at the head of the column. A line of text serving to indicate what the passage below it is about. The heading seemed to have little to do with the text. A V-shaped mark at one end of an arrow pointer. A difficult juncture. Matters came to a head yesterday. Forward movement. The ship made little headway against the gale. Oral stimulation of the genitals. They say he gives good head. A dense cluster of flowers or foliage. A head of cauliflower. The subject matter at issue. Under the head of minor Roman poets. Direct the course, determine the direction of traveling. The source of water from which a stream arises. They tracked him back toward the head of the stream. A natural elevation, especially a rocky one that jets out into the sea. Grammar. The word in a grammatical constituent that plays the same grammatical role as the whole constituent. A membrane that is stretched taut over a drum. An individual person. Tickets are $5 per head. A projection out from one end. The head of the nail. A rounded compact mass. The head of a comet. A single domestic animal. 200 head of cattle. A user of, usually soft, drugs. The office was full of secret heads. Be in the front of or on top of. The list was headed by the name of the president. Form a head or come or grow to a head. The wheat headed early this year. Nautical. A toilet on board a boat or ship. Remove the head of. Head the fish. Take its rise. These rivers head from a mountain range in the Himalayas. That part of a skeletal muscle that is away from the bone that it moves. The foam or froth that accumulates at the top when you pour an effervescent liquid into a container. The beer had a large head of foam. The front of a military formation or procession. The head of the column advanced boldly. The length or height based on the size of a human or animal head. He is 2 heads taller than his little sister. The pressure exerted by a fluid. A head of steam. The rounded end of a bone that fits into a rounded cavity in another bone to form a joint. The head of the humerus. The striking part of a tool. The head of the hammer. The tip of an abscess, where the pus accumulates. The top of something. The head of the stairs. To go or travel towards. Where is she heading? Usually plural, the obverse side of a coin that usually bears the representation of a person's head. Call heads or tails. Pay close attention to, give heed to. That which is responsible for one's thoughts, feelings, and conscious brain functions, the seat of the faculty of reason. His mind wandered. Knowledge and intellectual ability. He reads to improve his mind. Keep in mind. An important intellectual. The great minds of the 17th century. Be in charge of or deal with. Your intention. What you intend to do. He had in mind to see his old teacher. An opinion formed by judging something. She changed her mind. Be on one's guard. Be cautious or wary about. Be alert to. Attention. Don't pay him any mind. Be concerned with or about something or somebody. Be offended or bothered by. Take offense with, be bothered by. I don't mind your behavior. Recall or remembrance. It came to mind. That which is responsible for one's thoughts, feelings, and conscious brain functions, the seat of the faculty of reason. Common sense. She has great social nous. That which is responsible for one's thoughts, feelings, and conscious brain functions, the seat of the faculty of reason. The immaterial part of a person, the actuating cause of an individual life. Greek mythology. A beautiful princess loved by Cupid who visited her at night and told her she must not try to see him, became the personification of the soul. Mental ability. Mental ability. Mental ability. A habitual or characteristic mental attitude that determines how you will interpret and respond to situations. Mental ability. A witty, amusing person who makes jokes. Mental ability. A message whose ingenuity or verbal skill or incongruity has the power to evoke laughter. Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality. Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality. Physicist born in Germany who formulated the special theory of relativity and the general theory of relativity. Einstein also proposed that light consists of discrete quantized bundles of energy, later called photons, 1879 to 1955. Unusual mental ability. Exceptional creative ability. Someone who is dazzlingly skilled in any field. Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality. Mozart was a child genius. A natural talent. He has a genius for interior decorating. Plan and direct, a complex undertaking. He masterminded the robbery. Someone who creates new things. Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality. That part of the central nervous system that includes all the higher nervous centers, enclosed within the skull, continuous with the spinal cord. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. Secret information about an enemy, or potential enemy. We sent out planes to gather intelligence on their radar coverage. Information about recent and important events. The operation of gathering information about an enemy. A unit responsible for gathering and interpreting information about an enemy. The ability to comprehend, to understand and profit from experience. Of or associated with or requiring the use of the mind. Intellectual problems. Involving intelligence rather than emotions or instinct. A person who uses the mind creatively. Appealing to or using the intellect. Satire is an intellectual weapon. Knowledge and intellectual ability. He has a keen intellect. A person who uses the mind creatively. The capacity for rational thought or inference or discrimination. A structure that is part of the nervous system. Drive something violently into a location. He hit his fist on the table. Kill intentionally and with premeditation. Gain points in a game. He hit a home run. A conspicuous success. That song was his first hit and marked the beginning of his career. Hit with a missile from a weapon. Physics. A brief event in which two or more bodies come together. Make a strategic, offensive, assault against an enemy, opponent, or a target. Affect or afflict suddenly, usually adversely. We were hit by really bad weather. Reach a point in time, or a certain state or level. The thermometer hit 100 degrees. Encounter by chance. Cause to experience suddenly. An interesting idea hit her. The act of contacting one thing with another. Repeated hitting raised a large bruise. Produce by manipulating keys or strings of musical instruments. Reach a destination, either real or abstract. We hit Detroit by noon. Hit against. Come into sudden contact with. The car hit a tree. A connection made via the internet to another website. WordNet gets many hits from users worldwide. A dose of a narcotic drug. A murder carried out by an underworld syndicate. It has all the earmarks of a mafia hit. Baseball. A successful stroke in an athletic contest, especially in baseball. He came all the way around on Williams's hit. Cause to move by striking. Hit a ball. Deal a blow to, either with the hand or with an instrument. He hit her hard in the face. Hit the intended target or goal. Pay unsolicited and usually unwanted sexual attention to. He tries to hit on women in bars. Mark for deletion, rub off, or erase. Kill these lines in the president's speech. End or extinguish by forceful means. Thwart the passage of. Kill emotion. Drink down entirely. She killed a bottle of brandy that night. The act of terminating a life. Be fatal. Cigarettes kill. Be the source of great pain for. These new shoes are killing me. Cause the death of, without intention. She was killed in the collision of 3 cars. Cause to cease operating. Kill the engine. Cause to die. Put to death, usually intentionally or knowingly. This man killed several people when he tried to rob a bank. Deprive of life. AIDS has killed thousands in Africa. Destroy a vitally essential quality of or in. Eating artichokes kills the taste of all other foods. Hit with great force. He killed the ball. Hit with so much force as to make a return impossible, in racket games. She killed the ball. Overwhelm with hilarity, pleasure, or admiration. The comedian was so funny, he was killing me. The body of an animal, or bodies of animals, killed by a person or another animal. The destruction of an enemy plane or ship or tank or missile. The pilot reported 2 kills during the mission. Tire out completely. The daily stress of her work is killing her. Edible viscera of a butchered animal. Edible viscera of a butchered animal. That part of the mind wherein psychic activity takes place of which the person is unaware. An informal British expression for head or mind. Use your noddle. Psychic activity just below the level of awareness. Just below the level of consciousness. Psychic activity just below the level of awareness. An inflated feeling of pride in your superiority to others. Your consciousness of your own identity. Psychoanalysis, the conscious mind.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.